Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Real, Raw, and Truthful. I am Tawnya Love, and I was working out today and just feeling really pumped up and listening to really amazing affirmations and feeling strong. And I was like, I feel like it's time to put out another podcast. And so we're just going to see what source wants to bring through me today. I just got back from an amazing trip to the coast. It was so magical. Like, I put pictures on Facebook. And so if anybody is Facebook friends with me, you can see the pictures. But it was such a magical experience. I got to stay in the most beautiful house. And it's funny because when I was walking on the beach and I looked up and saw where the house was, I realized that several months ago, before my last relationship, revealed that it was not meant to be, before that ended, I was walking on that same beach. And I remember looking up and seeing this new house being built and thinking, oh my gosh, like what an amazing view that must be. And I was just like, I would love to someday have a home like that and to be able to just be in that kind of experience. And so, we're going to let the manifestations continue to play out as far as having my own home like that. But it was interesting because it was just a few months back. And then I saw that the house that I was looking at, right next to it, there was another house. And that was the house I was staying in. And the views were like beyond words beautiful. This trip was so healing to my soul. And I really feel like, I guess what I'm feeling, some of the message going to come through is no matter what happens in life, sometimes people really let you down. Sometimes people can just show you the darkest, ugliest side of humanity and just how cruel and how dark and ugly they can be. But if we see that for what it is, other energy revealing itself to us so that we can move cleaner and we can move more, what's the word? Like we can move with more wisdom and more discernment, then it's actually a blessing for us. And I've really learned to see that in life, that no matter what happens, other people are just revealing who they are. And that is giving me information to see if I feel like that's someone I would like to continue to move forward with. And if it isn't, that's all I need to do is see that and then release them and be like, yeah, good luck to you and enjoy your creations and what you're doing. I'm going to choose myself. I'm going to love myself and I'm going to move in a more beautiful and aligned way. And so I have done that. And since making that choice to choose myself and to absolutely not tolerate, being in negativity or being around hostile energy or unconscious people that just want to project, since I've decided to make that choice for myself, no matter what that might have cost me, as far as, dreams that were trying to be created, it proved to me to be an illusion. It has ended up being such a blessing for my life. And I hope that any of you listening, like if anybody out there that's listening is going through a breakup or you're contemplating a breakup because you realize someone just is not seeing you correctly or treating you the way you deserve to be treated. It just, if you can just trust in the divine and trust that it's showing itself to you to help you see the truth of that person and their intentions, it doesn't mean it's showing you what your worth is. And that's something I've had to really learn. Trust me, I learned it. I understand it. And this is why my cutoff game's a lot quicker these days. And if something doesn't feel right, if it doesn't feel aligned, if it doesn't feel honoring, then it's not for me. And so I let it go. And this trip was so magical in the fact that because I had chosen that, I got to have this experience. And it was such a elevated experience. It was such a beautiful, peaceful trip. Everything, every moment was beautiful and peaceful and loving. It was amazing. And so I'm really feeling on that high vibe from coming back from the coast. And for 2 days, I walked in the surf, like just walking with my bare feet in the ocean, which I absolutely love. It's so healing to me. And just the weather was so beautiful. I got to see so much wildlife. Like we had an elk come in the yard. There was bunnies, so many different birds and little chipmunks and just so much beauty in nature. It was so healing for me and I enjoyed it so deeply. So I'm in that vibration and I come back and I'm just like, I was thinking about how just a few months ago I was imagining what that would be like. And so the power of manifestation, when we really pay attention to it, we can realize, man, I was actually contemplating this more elevated experience and wondering about it. And then when life revealed that there was things that weren't really the best for me and they weren't matching that kind of a frequency, because I had the courage and the discipline and the self-love to release what wasn't working and choose to love myself and choose to trust in the divine, choose to trust that Source God truly does know what's best for me and not to stay attached to anybody or think I need anybody's validation or anybody's approval, and just move accordingly, move correctly with Source God and trust that what is really for me is always gonna find me. It always wants to come and find me. And so I feel like the topic here is to have that discernment, to trust in the unknown. And the book that I wrote, Universal Trust Fund Baby, is all about that. And I realized that I wrote that book a few years ago, but I've been living that book. Like everything in it, I have activated and I am living. And I'm walking in that surrendered trust every day. And if something shifts or a person's energy shifts and they suddenly move differently, there's no reason we need to let that be the end of our world. It's just the end of that illusion. It's the end of maybe a chapter where there was someone in it that wasn't treating you right. But now you can go and create an entire new book, an entire new creation and reality. And so it was kind of fun to see how that manifested and just to see all the blessings that have been coming into my life since I've released certain people. And I realized that Source God often is protecting us. It's trying its best to guide us in the correct direction, the best direction for our highest and best, for our well-being, for our health, for our happiness. And if people are dragging us down and their energy is very negative and we're doing our best to uplift them, I have learned why I won't do that again, let's say. I have learned that that is not the aligned choice for me and that those people need to be cut free and they need to go and learn how to find their own upliftment. They need to learn how to find joy within themselves. They need to learn how to heal themselves and how to find integrity and choose that for themselves. But for me, I feel so incredibly grateful that I have made those choices because it has paid off so much. And I have learned, like, as much as I'll share on this podcast, I share what I feel inspired to share, but I'm an incredibly private person when it comes to like sharing all my moves. And I've learned that that's an important part of life if you want to be a really powerful manifester, because there's so often people that are just listening in or lurking about and watching with the intention to sabotage you, with the intention to fuck up your plans, which is really unfortunate for them because what a terrible energy to choose to live in, you know? But for me, I've learned to just move in my wisdom, share what I feel guided to share, and then keep to myself what needs to be kept to myself. And so anyway, I had an incredible, incredible trip. I've just been having a really amazing few months here since I set myself free from old energy, and just trusting that everything is becoming more beautiful in my life. My kid and I, we've just had so much good times together. We've done so many fun things together. My pups and I feel like there's so much to be grateful for. And like I said, some things I'm sharing and some things I'm consciously not sharing because I don't feel like it's other people's business to know every single part of my business. But my point in sharing this message is to really trust in yourself, to practice having self-love to the point where you don't settle, you don't tolerate, you don't take shit from people, and that you really believe in what you're worthy of and what you deserve. And you really believe that Source God loves you so much that the things that you truly want and desire and the things that are really good for you will come to you if you allow them to. And sometimes that means we have to let certain people go from our lives, that as long as those people were in our lives, because they weren't coming towards us with good intentions, they weren't moving correctly, they didn't have integrity, Source was holding back blessings to help us correct ourselves, correct the course, so that when the blessings came, the right people would be there to enjoy them with us, instead of having a bunch of blessings coming in and then somebody's there, their only intention to be there is to take from you. And so I've learned a lot. It's been really insightful. And I just am incredibly grateful. I really love how beautiful things can work out. Even when something seems heartbreaking in the moment, we can really trust that there's a reason for it. And that, like, I really do have a life's motto of everything is always working out for my highest and best. Like, the universe loves to give to me. Everything's working out for me. I really, really believe and hold that as my truth. And therefore it is. And so in saying that, it's important that we check in with our own self chatter, our own dialogue. So if some of you are believing that things just getting shittier and shittier, or everything's getting fucked up in your life, or everybody always fucks with you, and it can seem so hard to believe in the good when you're surrounded by negative energy. And so that's why it's so important to release and clear and purge yourself of any toxicity and clear your body. Make sure you're having healthy habits. If you're an alcoholic or you're a drug addict or a sex addict, or, you're just into low vibrational things, you're getting it all over you. You're getting it in your system. There's no way you're going to have a thriving, beautiful life if you're choosing those kind of choices. And if you're a person that's a healthy person, but you're spending your time with a partner or a friend or just family members that are toxic, addictive energies that are very low frequency, those energies are going to be pulling your frequency down. And so it's so wise. It's such a wise decision to isolate and to choose self-love. And to choose that so that you have the opportunity to heal. So you have the opportunity to come into your power and to get clarity on what it is you want to manifest next. And just to really be aware of how much those lower energies are affecting you. And I know as a person that when I've been around it, when you're in it, it's like that saying, you can't see the forest for the trees, because you're so surrounded by it that you are just surviving. And I realized for a long time, I was in energy where I was surviving. I was just dealing. I was coping. I was I wouldn't even say tolerating. That was why it was so exhausting, because negative energy would be projected upon me. Somebody would bring some shit my way, try to start some trouble, try to project, triangulate, all their drama bullshit. And I just was used to like pop, 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 like batting away negativity. But I was exhausted because it was all around me. And so as I chose to self-isolate, as scary as that kind of feels when you're used to being around people, it can seem scary. But as I chose that, oh my God, did I feel so much more like balanced? My hormones, my nervous system, everything in my body started to come into balance within a couple months. Like immediately it was doing it, right? But I noticed shifts and healing happening in my entire body over a couple months' time, where I was really seeing how much my body had been thrown out of balance from having somebody else be around me who carried a lot of negativity. I'm going to get a drink. And so sometimes we can just feel like, you know, it becomes normalcy to be dealing with someone's negativity, or maybe it's just someone who just loves gossip and they just love to talk shit about people and they don't have anything good to say. And you're just doing your best to be the peaceful one. Like, well, let's just focus on the good. And let's, you know, you're trying to guide them. And I've been this so much in my life. And I realize how draining that was for me. And now I am so okay with people thinking whatever the fuck they want to think. If the whole planet decided they just wanted to talk some shit and like be slandering me, and I know I'm good and I know that what they're saying is not real, I will be just fine by myself, knowing and believing what is true. You know what I'm saying? And there's something so empowering about that. And I feel like it actually really pisses people off that are manipulators, because their whole thing is they want to control your mind, like through dark psychology. They want to fuck with your mind, fuck with your confidence, make, you know, gaslight your reality, cause you to doubt yourself, cause you to feel afraid, cause you to think that you're not worthy. It's all a strategy of dragging your energy down. And it's all a strategy of delaying you and blocking your blessings. So if you're going through that, trust in the divine, clean up your energy, clean up your body, clean up your home life, your environment. If you got a circle of gossipy little bitchy friends, get rid of them, release them. You will be so better off alone. And enjoy time in nature. Find solid friendships. Like if there's someone solid and they show you they're trustworthy, they show you they care about you, they show you that they have self-awareness, they're able to have empathy, you know, maybe they'll be able to stick around and be near you and you can let them come in. But if people show you that they're toxic, they're self-serving, they would lie. If it was easier to tell the truth, they would lie. If they're a little narcissistic demon, if they're a manipulator, if they're a gaslighter, they're showing you that they're damaged and that they're wounded. And that is their responsibility to go and heal that. They're showing you that they're not good for you. So I am just encouraging anyone listening that if you are in a situation like that, to have the courage to move in your solitude for a while, to isolate for a while. Not isolate like in a bad way, but like come into your bubble, come into your cocoon, heal, process, level up, and learn. Like you can really learn so much from every experience. And so anyways, I am just in a space where I know I've been talking a lot about different things that were really dark and hurtful and painful. And it's because I speak on what is coming up and what I am experiencing and able to share and learn about and express to the world. And right now I am just remembering and reminding myself of how powerful I am as a creatress, how magical I am as an alchemist and a magician, and that all of us can tap in and align with life. We can all tap in and connect with source and move with alignment and integrity and honor. And we can really thrive and we can have an incredible and beautiful life if we focus in that way. Hey, and I just looked down, it's 0404 on July 4. So 4/4 on July 4th. But, you know, I just feel like no matter what's going on in your personal movie of life, just remember that you are so deeply loved. You are very powerful. And when you're moving correctly and you're in your alignment, blessings can really come in. And if you're not, that you really are the one that is keeping your blessings away, whether you're a person that's clinging to low energy or you're just allowing and tolerating low energy, even if it's coming from a good place because you really just want to believe the best in people, or you're looking for the good and you're holding on to, like, you fall in love with their potential, it's still affecting your life. And for the people that are the low vibe energies, the negative, toxic little tyrannical toddlers. You all are your own problem. And so I would just say anyone that's healthy listening to this, just stay away from people like that. Those people need to go and heal in their own way. And sometimes the karma for some people is losing a really good and loving person because they didn't want to listen to your words when you were there. They didn't want to change or correct their energy or heal or do the work that it took to be with a person like you when you were being so loving and supportive and sharing your empathy and compassion. And so for people in that position, I'm not even going to put a lot of energy into you. I feel like anyone listening, if you're even here, you're probably, unless you're one of the hateful exes that's just stalking me, I'm most likely attracting people who want to heal and who want to actually look into their behavior and they want self-awareness. But for those who don't, they're just always looking for ways they can manipulate someone. They're looking for ways they can take advantage, ways they can lie, they can hurt someone because they're so empathetic. And I saw something recently on the reason that narcissistic beings are drawn to empaths. And it's because they love an empathic person. And again, I'm a woman, so I'm going to speak of it because I've been around narcissistic beings who are female as well. But I feel like what I learned is that when you're very empathetic and you don't have good boundaries, narcissistic beings who are very self-serving, very lustful, greedy energies, they love to come in and find themselves a nice empath because they think, oh, the empath, she'll be so understanding. She'll be unconditionally loving, forgiving. She'll keep on giving me chances and she'll have so much compassion that I will totally glitch her nervous system and mess with her brain every day with gaslighting and manipulation and toxicity and projection. And so they do that very intentionally because they know they can get away with a lot with an empath who has no boundaries. So I feel like I'm just like the leader with my megaphone out here speaking loud and clear to all the empaths to encourage them and guide them if they are at a place where they still have not learned to have healthy boundaries, and to understand how much that's affecting their reality, how much that's, causing them suffering, pain, dis-ease, drama, things that don't have to be in their reality if they take the time to pull away, to trust in Source God, to trust in the universe, trust in their own power, and know that they really do deserve to be treated with the same love that they would give out. Because the thing that can be so confusing for an empath is we're very loving, patient, understanding, compassionate. And so when people are not, and we haven't really leveled up to self-love to the place where we have excellent boundaries, which is a journey. But until we've done that, we're just looking at that person like, what is going on? Like, we just want to help them. It's kind of like if you see a dog in pain and they're howling and they're in pain, like something in you wants to help them not be in pain. But if you go and you're trying to help the dog and he's biting you and attacking you and spits flying and, it's like very dangerous, you would be wise to pull away instead of continue to go and get closer to that dog. And some humans are broken like that. They can be like broken dogs where they're deep down, they're in pain. They have so much brokenness that there's pain there. But the problem is that their pain becomes dangerous when the empath is trying to offer care and compassion. And that being that's broken is just shredding that empath. They're just tearing them down mentally, emotionally, physically, in all the ways. And so it's so important that we recognize that and pull our energy and our power back so that we can have a beautiful and blessed life, because you all deserve that. And including the broken ones, they deserve a great life. They deserve love. But they need to go and get the healing that's needed and do the inner work Because I promise you, if you are a toxic little demon that goes into people's lives and just fucks everything up, brings chaos, confusion, you lie, you cheat, you steal, and you slander, and then you go and talk shit and you try to act like a victim to the very people that you have victimized, there is no way you're going to have an amazing life. You're going to have a very toxic, chaotic, low frequency life. Even if you end up having a job today and you have money and you have different things coming in, I promise you fuck with someone who's really sweet. You keep doing that to sweet, kind people, you're going to actually fuck up your own well-being and your own blessings. So, if the thing is us empaths, we're incredibly honest and we'll share the truth, whereas narcissists are always, they're lying. Everything about them is a lie. It's all a mask, an illusion, a performance. So the thing is they're not going to be as honest until if they chose to heal, then they might be honest. But because they won't be honest, they won't tell you that their life's really shit because they fucked with a nice, sweet empath. They'll keep pretending like, oh, she did me dirty, she hurt me, and they'll lie. And so the thing that you can count on with a narcissistic being is they're going to just keep lying, and because that's what they do. The thing is, they could heal if they chose to go and do the healing and they chose to do their inner work and be honest. But as long as they're staying in that place where they're full of crap, they're lying, they're manipulating, you're not going to get any clarity from them. And that can be incredibly confusing to an empath that's healthy, because a mentally healthy person, we're doing our best to bring harmony and peace to a situation. We're not trying to bring chaos to somebody. We're not purposely trying to confuse somebody in order to manipulate them emotionally. We're not purposely doing things to hack away at someone's confidence and self-worth. I mean, that's sick. It's very sick and dysfunctional. And so it's important to pay attention to that. And if somebody, I'm sorry, like there's shows on these days with these dating shows, and in like 5 minutes, I can tell, like, nope, that person, red flag, like that person is serious narcissist. And then as the shows progress, it's revealed that they are. And I feel like women need to just be so careful about this. And of course, this can go for men too, but I'm speaking as a woman who's experienced this from men, from broken boys. If you don't get the help, you're causing so much damage and pain. And I feel like so many women, we need to really see like how much we've been programmed by society to seek validation from males, how much we've been programmed to need that man to choose us, to think we're pretty. Big picture, you don't need that. You don't need anyone in the world to think you're pretty or to validate you except for you. And once you really get that, you move with such power and you'll piss people off. There'll be people that are insecure always that are on the planet. There's going to be insecure wounded girls, insecure wounded boys, and they're going to do what insecure wounded boys and girls do. They're going to act toxic. But as an empowered female, we have the ability to see that and to pull our energy back and to really see it for what it is. Like when I see these girls and they're crying from these really toxic boys that are fucking with them on these shows. And I think of the times that I've been in those situations and I'm just like, oh girl, just don't even do it. Don't even cry over him. Like just see it for what it is, that he's showing you he's toxic. He's showing you he's a liar. He's a player. He's a manipulator. Let him go. Like choose yourself and you will win. And so I guess that's the big message. If you want to really become so powerful on this planet and you want to really do your soul work, choose yourself, listen to Source God, follow your alignment, follow integrity, live in that alignment, live in that integrity. And anyone who shows you that that is not what they want to do, let them go where they need to go. If the guy wants to be a little hoe and he loves chase and tail, let him. That's what he loves. Let him go. You don't need to save him. You don't need to fix him. If a guy just thinks he's going to lie forever and just mansplain everything, but he doesn't want to actually look at his own behavior, let him, but let him go. Let him go talk to someone else until they can't handle it anymore. You don't have to sit there and continuously carry heaviness for other people. There's a chapter in my book where I talk about, there's a story that was very personal that happened to me, where I share how, as someone that had grown up and was coming from abuse, who went through a lot of abuse, I felt I was very much taught and programmed to sit in tension. And so I would feel so incredibly uncomfortable while trying my best to help the one doing that be comfortable. So I would put so much energy into trying to help this tyrant feel safe and comfortable so they could relax. Well, I felt like my nervous system was being attacked and I felt like I was going to throw up. And no, if you're listening and that's how you feel at times with your life partner, with your friends, with your family members, I don't care their title, their labels. It doesn't matter. If a person is treating you that way, they are showing you exactly who they are, and they are showing you exactly how they feel about you. And you are so much better off on your own. You could go on a great beach trip. You could go to happy hour with your kid. You could go hiking with your puppies. You can do whatever you want to do. You don't need to be with a toxic, narcissistic person who they get off on making you feel small, or they get off on scaring you, on intimidating you, on trying to make you feel like they're more powerful than you. That's bullshit. It's total bullshit. And there's so much of this going on the planet. Like, I feel like this narcissistic energy coming up is really revealing its dark, sneaky self. And I've heard lots of statements about the narcissistic collapse coming. And oh man, I feel it is a matter of time before that goes down, because there's so many that walk around in this misogynistic, narcissistic, delusional space where they really feel like what they're doing is totally fine. And it's sick. It's so obviously not fine if you're healthy. If you're a healthy person, it's so obvious that it is not fine, that it is not okay. But just hold the faith in the bigger vision. And in the meantime, until, the world figures its shit out and society figures its shit out, just figure your shit out. I'm a woman speaking to women, and if there's men listening, then this is a message for you as well. If you know that you're not being healthy and honoring, go do your work, go heal yourself so that you can be a better person for yourself, so you could actually become a healthy, safe man for a woman, so you could be a great role model for children. Because if you don't, and you just keep doing the toxic shit, you know deep inside that you're a terrible person and you're leading by terrible example. And so the best thing that you could do to remedy the situation is to go and actually do your self-work and your healing work. And the same applies to women. If there's toxic women listening that, you know that you purposely go and fuck with people and do mental games and play games, like, you're just as nasty and just as bad. And so we all have to just cut the shit and go and really look in the mirror and face ourselves and do the healing work, and not make excuses for why you've become just an evil, snaky female to other females, or not make an excuse for why you've become an evil, snaky male that likes to prey upon empathic, sweet females. It's just, the shit will get better when everyone looks at their own shit and actually wants to heal it. And in the meantime, we're going to see more and more weird drama in the world. For me, I am choosing to pull into myself and to trust in the divine. And in that choice, I have been incredibly blessed. And I've learned so much we can only be where we are. So we even judging ourselves of where we were. If I know, man, I just wish I had cut people off a lot sooner years ago, I'm not going to judge myself for it, because I realized I was doing the best I knew to do at that time. And where I'm at now, I realize I will never tolerate things like that again. So anyone coming into my world better be coming correct, or I will just keep on moving along in silence and solitude if need be. And I feel completely okay about that. I feel completely empowered with that. So the message here for all of you, if you're tolerating less, if you're being treated terribly, is to really wake up and see that, and to believe in your magic, to believe in yourself, to believe in source, believe in the universe and how much it loves you, and to choose to love you in every moment. If something feels like it's going against loving yourself and honoring yourself, then move in a different direction. And you will see how much more beautiful life can be than if you stay stuck and attached to toxic energy. So I hope this message has been helpful to any and all, and I trust that it will go out into the universe and reach all of those that is meant to reach, and including people that it might trigger. If my messages in these podcasts trigger you, or if they delight you, both are medicine. Namaste.